Last week, I was reading to you about how Jesus wants the people that are listening to him, he wants them to be the salt of the earth. He wants them to be the light of the world. And that applies to us too. God wants us to be the salt of the earth, the taste in a tasteless world. He wants us to be the light of the world. He wants us to shine so brightly that people are drawn to us so that they see him. They look at us and what we're doing, and we are living God's life, and they are drawn to it because God knows that if you are living his life, people are going to be drawn to you. And that's what he wants. So what Jesus is going to do now is he's going to take a few of the commandments. He's going to explain them to people. Let's pick up Matthew chapter 5 verses 17 through 20. Do not think that I came to do away with or undo the law of Moses. I did not come to destroy, but to fulfill. For I assure you and most solemnly say to you, until heaven and earth pass away, not the smallest letter or stroke of the pen will pass from the law until all things are accomplished. So whoever breaks one of the least of these commandments and teaches others to do the same will be called least important in the kingdom of heaven. But whoever practices and teaches them, he will be called great in the kingdom of heaven. For I say to you that unless your righteousness is more than that of the scribes and Pharisees, you will never enter the kingdom of heaven. So when these laws were given to Moses, to the Israelis leaving Egypt, there were 10 rules that God gave to his people. He said, I want you to live by these. These will show me that you are listening to me if you live by them. Over time, there came a group of men who were called the Pharisees, and they wrote Jewish laws, and they based these laws on the Ten Commandments. And what they said to the people was, if you break these laws, you're breaking God's laws. And if you break God's laws, we're going to send you to jail. The problem is that the Pharisees did not live by that. They would tell the Jewish people, you can't do this. But yet they would do that. And there was nobody to throw them in jail. So that's called hypocrisy. To bring it closer to home and more relevant, right now we're being told to wear masks. And our leaders are telling us we have to wear them. And they're telling us that if we don't wear them, we're going to get punished. But yet, they don't wear them. That's called hypocrisy. That's exactly what was happening back then. The people were being told to do something by their leaders, and their leaders weren't doing it. So what Jesus is saying here is he wants your righteousness to be better than that. So if you're going to say to people to be good, to do certain things a certain way, and you don't do them yourself, you're a hypocrite. And Jesus is telling you that will not get you into the kingdom of heaven. He says that whoever breaks one of the least of these commandments and teaches somebody else to do these things will be called the least important in heaven. Here's a dirty little secret. Of all these 10 commandments, they're not ranked. They're all the same. There is no least important. They all are important. So basically what Jesus is saying is if you break one of them and teach others to break one of them, you're not getting into the kingdom of heaven because you're a hypocrite. Your heart's not in it. Jesus wants your heart. He wants you to know these 10 commandments, and he wants you to live by them. He wants you to try to live by them, and he wants you to get others to live by them. He's not saying that living by these 10 commandments will get you into heaven. Only belief in him will get you into heaven. But what he's saying is that if you do these things, it shows that your heart is in the right place. And your heart is what he wants and what he can work with. That's the change. When you decide to do what God wants you to do, and you make an intent to live the way he wants you to live, you're showing him that you're teachable. You're showing him that he can mold your heart. God's going to mold your heart whether you want to or not. If you show him you want your heart changed, it hurts a lot less than letting him just come in and do it. Trust me on that one. We're gonna talk about that at some point. God will change your heart. Um, Kicking and screaming, he'll do it because he wants you. He wants you in heaven. He wants you with him. The only way you're gonna get there is when you change your heart. Because when you change your heart, you change your mind about him. Next week, we're going to, over the next couple of weeks, I'm going to just throw some of these at you, and Jesus is going to explain them. And I hope you have a great week. I want you to do one thing for me. Go find the 10 Commandments. I'm not going to tell you where they are. I'm going to let you look them up. I want you to find them, and I want you to read them. I want you to, we've talked about this before, by the way. I told you about having the 10 Commandments, understanding them, and trying to live by them. Well, now we're going to get into it because over the next few weeks, Jesus is going to be talking about them. So I want you to find the 10 Commandments. I want you to read them. I want you to try to live by them. Right now, I don't want you to teach them. I want you to do it yourself. Live by them. And then we'll see more. Have a great week.